evening. Welcome to Adrenaline Radio. This is Fred Blanchard, your host for Adrenaline Motorsports. And, one of the other things I wanted to touch on, I guess I wanted to toot my horn a little bit about our Bonneville project. We were, most recently, as I mentioned, pretty much had started with an experimental engine that we were going to put into the car for the first time this year. And it's everything of that experimental. We acquired components from a variety of very capable manufacturers. The first I will mention again, which is Nick Arias Racing Components, owner of Arias Pistons, and he's designed a cylinder head package, I call it, which is a series of complete cylinder heads designed for the Chevrolet Big Block. And he's been kind of a guiding light for me, because this is the product I think is going to apply the horsepower that we need to reach our goal, which is the record in our particular class for the Lakeshore that we have. And others like New Century Performance, who designed the block, well, actually owners of the block, and make the engine block that we have. It's a Chevrolet derivative, but it's, again, custom made with reinforced areas throughout the whole engine block to withstand the horsepower we think we're going to get out of this motor. But those are some of the things, and this is the first time that we've involved ourselves with this venture. And as again, I had the good fortune to have good friends and family members and contribute to the project, and I feel very fortunate. Last year was our first venture onto the salt, and without them, I don't know if we would have even got there, because the thing we didn't think about when we were fooling with the car is all the logistics, preparing the trailer, preparing what we needed to take with us. You have to load everything you own, plus things you don't own, into the trailer in order to create your home away from home when you go to Bonneville. It's not one of those where you take your camping trailer. You can't stay on the salt at night, so but during the day it gets pretty hot. You got to have all your tools and things like that in order to set up your campsite, and that's your home for the week. So that's kind of what we've done. And fortunately enough, one of the folks that I have here in the studio tonight basically has been a great help to me last year. Without him and his family, I don't know if I could have put everything in the trailer I had to put in the trailer. And I think, Bruno, you had some questions for me.
Yeah, first of all, I want to take a second, Fred, to tell you congratulations. I heard I was listening to your show driving to the station. It's been 6 months for a wonderful, wonderful show. I know you're having a lot of good time. And, yeah, obviously we're all excited for Bonneville. That was my first experience. You told us for all those years the excitement of going to Bonneville. Last year was also your first time using your car. And I just can't wait for this year. I think it's going to be awesome.
Well, I'm looking forward to it more so than anybody, because with all the help that we've gotten this year to get things done on the car and with the car, in fact, I just received some photos yesterday evening, because I haven't seen the car personally. It's acquired itself a brand new paint job, and I'm not used to having very pretty things or nice things. Racing is racing, and you make it, the key thing is the running gear and the engine in my world, and this is the first time I've seen something as nice as this already painted up and ready to have the engine installed in it. It was probably one of the most impressive things, and like I told the painter and the driver, by the way, I must tell you, Ben York, I says it's really too good for who it's for. It's too nice to even run on the salt, but we're going to go do that anyway. But it's a beautiful piece of work of art. And again, you're going to be able to see this vehicle at the Home and Garden Show on the 26th and 27th of this month. And that was one of the things I wanted to share with you. But the paint job was just awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bruno.
I was going to say also, I heard that you're working on everything, the engine. You got to work on it and have the engine started, I believe, today.
First time. We had some gremlins. We had some issues, electronic issues, believe it or not, things that we had purchased from other manufacturers for the ignition system. And unfortunately, whether it was an error on our part or whatever, I'm not quite sure. We're doing some testing now to find that out. But two of the ECMs, the electronic computer modules that allow the spark to work and fire the engine, two of those boxes didn't work. And I don't know if there was something that we did to short them out, or I'm not quite sure what, but we're going to have them tested and received late yesterday one by FedEx that came our way, and so it was installed this morning, and we were able to start the engine around noontime, 1 o'clock. So it was the first time, and now comes the tuning process. But it does run, and
how does it sound?
Unbelievable. It is not anything like what we had in there last year, I have to tell you that. It was pretty phenomenal. It was the throttle response was just unbelievable, but it requires a lot of minor settings and some changing of the fuel system, which we learned real quick that we had too much fuel going to the motor, and the other part of it is not enough blower boost. Just it running. We had about 6 pounds of boost in the blower. That means that the blower is a device that's mounted on top of the engine and forces air into the engine along with the fuel to increase the horsepower. And it's a very exotic part. But all in all, it's coming right along. As a matter of fact, on the way to the studio tonight, I stopped by a company called Blower Drive Service here in Whittier that makes the pulleys that you need to have, and I needed to buy one, and they stayed open for me to come by and pick one up. So I was very fortunate. Of course, I called ahead, and the lady in charge, Norma Eskandarian, again, it's a big family. Eskandarian, Norma's married to Richard Eskandarian, who of Eskandarian Chems, son of Ed Eskandarian. So, like I say, everybody knows everybody in this business as motorsports and engine parts, but she stayed open just to take care of what I needed to have, so that was greatly appreciated. And so when the program is concluded this evening, I'm going back to work on the engine and make some more noise, I guess. So
talking of noise, Fred, I know this year I heard you talk with with the other partners also.
Brian Basic, Brian and Ben York, yeah.
That's it. You guys are not going to run Nitro yet, but is that something that eventually maybe next year or?
Well, here is the plan. I think that it's a long-term plan, but with this particular engine, I don't think we're going to do that. I think that what we're going to do is try to achieve the record in this particular class. It's what they call supercharged or blown gas Lakester, as they call it, BGL. And it's a B-class motor, which allows us to build the engine up to 437 cubic inches. But this motor is designed for gasoline. However, one of our future sponsors that we're going to have here for the program, which is B&B Performance Products, are in the process of developing a fuel engine block and also fuel cylinder heads. And we're looking into the possibilities of having something of that type. And it probably won't be for another year or even two, possibly. But, yes, we'll be running. We're looking into running fuel in the next couple of years, but not right away. Again, we're learning about ourselves, about the car, to create the teamwork. The car needs guidance as far as to achieve the speeds that we think we need to go. We were very fortunate a couple of years ago to meet a gentleman by the name of Rich Manchin, who actually designed and built the original car, which we have since modified to fit our engine and our parts in it. But he is a professional car builder, and has done a tremendous job. And I think that what we have is as good as anything out there on the salt bed today, and very fortunate to have it.